So you have applied to so many jobs. You have tweaked your resume here and there, trying to make it just right. You're not getting any responses, any callbacks or anything like that about any job application, and you are feeling frustrated and annoyed and all that stuff, right? However, you continue to make tweaks and you get a response saying, "Hey, I saw your resume and I think you might be a good fit for this position. I would love to interview you so we can get the ball rolling." Now, now you panic. You're like, "Uh-oh, I haven't had an interview before. What do I do? I am so nervous. I am so scared. I don't know what to do." Right? Well, we're going to talk about that today, about why once you actually get to the next step of what you've been looking for, now you start to worry, you start to be unsure, you start to doubt yourself, all of that good stuff. All right, that's the plan for today. But first, do me a big favor as we go on: like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you know when we go live and drop new content. And check out techcoachdrop.dev, get access to exclusive content, including the smart reviews that the tech barbarians do, as well as get access to one-on-one coaching, all of that good stuff where we can run it up together. Look at that, no days off. Let's run it up. But with that being said, let's get started. Welcome to another episode of Candid Conversations, hosted by your truly tech coach Ralph, where we are engineer twin. So, as I said in the beginning, you've been applying. Maybe you took a boot camp, maybe you took a Udemy program, maybe you went to college. Who knows? Whatever way you got educated. But now you're applying for jobs, and it's like things are not going the way that you wanted to go, or at the speed that you wanted to go. You thought, all right, I finished this program, I applied for a job, and then like a week later, I should be starting to work, right? And sadly to say, things don't really work that way unless you have some amazing contact, somebody to put you in position. But 99 times out of 100, it's not going to go that way, right? But let's say you've done all the editing and stuff like that, so that you can actually land an interview, right? Because guess what? Doing the in the whole process, applying for the jobs, that's not really much. It doesn't take much effort to actually put in an application. It does take effort on your resume. It does take effort on how to connect with people that might be able to give you that boost in landing an interview and landing that job. I speak about that in the Tech Coach Ralph Patreon, where how to network. Like, I just created some videos on how to network, to connect with the people in the companies that you're applying for, how to research those companies. I'm going to be creating some more videos about that. But now let's say you get through all of that, and now you actually get to step one, where you are getting requested for interview. However, now you get super duper nervous. Yep, you get nervous. You're like, "Oh my God, my first interview. I don't know what to do. I'm so scared. I'm like, my armpits are sweating like crazy. I just don't know where to go from here. What do I do?" So that is what I want to talk to you about today. One thing that has always helped me, I'm gonna like, there's no correct formula. I'm gonna talk about what I always do, how I've always approached when I'm applying for jobs, when I'm looking to get to a company, right? I put myself in this position because, do I get nervous before going into interview? I mean, for the most part, I get somewhat nervous because, like, just whenever you're talking to people you've never met before and stuff like that, there are some butterflies that are associated with it. But and always, once I'm going to do something, like, let's say even before I start a live stream, at least in the beginning, where I would be nervous to go on live. But then once I get live, and once the lights come on, I'm like, it's go time, and I forget everything else, and I'm like, all right, let's do what we're gonna do. Let's put on a show. And then once the camera lights go off, once the camera and the lights go off, it's like, whew, okay, we got through that, right? So what I've always done, regardless of how I felt leading up to it, once it's time to work, once it's time to perform, we perform. And I always have that mentality of, this is a mentality that I normally take on, right? Whenever I'm speaking to someone for whatever, whether it is for a job, whether it's to work with somebody else in some other capacity, I always take the mindset of that whoever I'm working with or for or interviewing with or for or whatever is that they need me more than I need them. Right. And that way by the and it I mean with that mindset, right? With the way that I approach that mindset, it always puts me at the advantage of not being so nervous and always doubting myself. Am I good enough? Am I this? Am I that? Now, you still need to actually acquire and obtain those skills so that you can perform, right? But I always take it with the idea that, you know what, I am so good. I'm the best. That they should be dying to have me. And if for some reason things don't work out, it is their loss, not my loss. And that's the mindset that I approach. But with that mindset, it also makes me a lot more focused, work a lot harder so that I can kill the game. I hope that makes sense what I mean by that. You know, because a lot of times, like, we get so, just, especially if you're new to the field, you get so nervous on the things that are required of you. Like, oh, I've never done this. I never done that. Now my question to you is, why have you never done it? Why aren't you putting in the necessary amount of hours? It says it takes 10,000 hours to quote unquote master something. I think it might take 10,000 hours just to get started, just to get your feet wet. How many hours do you think an athlete spends practicing free throws? If we're talking about basketball, how many times do you think a swimmer, how many hours do you think a swimmer takes to swim back and forth, whatever it is that they compete in? How many passes do you think that Tom Brady threw in practice, which makes him be able to throw in the games? So for me, I always see it as that. I don't want to see that, oh, I need them more than they need me, because if you look at the successful athletes or musicians or whatever, they're able to negotiate the way that they negotiate because of their greatness, and because those teams need them more than they need the team. See, but when you're just starting off, no, you need the team more than they need you. And that's why they're able to offer you a low amount of money and stuff like that. But I always say you have to build yourself up, and you have to see that type of value in yourself that says, no, I am better than any other option that you can have. And if you don't see that, then that's your loss. See, a lot of times we look down upon our ability because, oh, they might have rejected us because, and who, like, a lot of times they reject you. No, you don't really know why. And I say, don't focus on that. Don't focus on that. Everything is an opportunity to learn, and everything's an opportunity to learn. It's a learning experience, but to also show you that what you're lacking, and I really believe that. I really believe that it is important that you always take that mindset of you, like that. I said it wrong. I almost said it wrong. That they need you more than you need them. And with that mindset, it's going to show so much confidence in your ability and what you know. So now when you're speaking to them and you're interviewing, and they say, oh, what about this? And you go like boom, 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 because you know your stuff. But if you know your stuff, but you're like, oh, and you're being timid and you're being shy and stuff like that, you don't want to brag about yourself. I always say you got to brag about yourself, but you don't want to brag about yourself. Then they're gonna be like, oh, this person isn't confident. They're gonna get walked all over. Like, if we send them into a meeting, let's use the QA example. If we send them into a meeting, they're just going to get walked all over, and they're going to be accepting timelines and stuff like that. That isn't going to be beneficial to them and to the team and to the organization. They're not going to be a strong advocate. So all of that stuff plays a role. It's not just about, oh, I'm a software developer and I know the MERN stack, right? Great. That's great. However, what about your confidence? Are you willing to fight for what you believe in? Are you able to stand up on your points? Or are you just gonna cave? And all those things, like when interviewing, all of that thing is analyzed and expected. So if they ask you a question, you're like, oh yeah, I did this and here, and I did this and the other, and I was able to move this from here into there. It's like, oh wow, this person really knows what they're talking about. And that's why for me, like personally, I know a lot of people, they cry and complain about, oh, this like this company rejected me, oh, this I got ghosted here, and I'm like, I I'm always going forward, never looking back. If I go and I do an interview, and I do an interview with a company, and I'm like, all right, whatever happens, great. If they give me an offer, great. If they don't, great. I don't care, because I'm just gonna keep moving forward. But that's because I see, I know what I can do. I know what I've done, and I always believe that you you passing upon me is a bigger loss to you than it is for me. And then wherever I end up, I perform. And I apply it to every single thing, every single thing that I do, whether it's what gym I train at, whether it's the people that I'm coaching. I'm like, you not wanting to be here, I see it as a bigger loss for you than it is for me, because I'm always going to win. You know, I but that's my focus. I focus on going forward. I don't look at the past as like, oh, and she's like, oh my god, like it's gonna be a loss if I don't get this. I'm gonna be so sad if I don't get this. I don't care. I'm like, because there's to me, I always believe that there's better things ahead, and I run towards those things so that I can obtain them. Do you know how many do you know how many companies that I applied to that I never heard back, or I interviewed and we didn't go, like they either said, oh no, we're gonna go in a different direction and stuff like that. I'm like, cool, cool. More opportunities for me. But with that mindset, you also got to put in the work. Because if you have the mindset that they need you more than you need them, but you don't actually back it up, then you're going to fail. So you have to put in the work as well. So you have to, so if we take it to tech, you have to learn how things actually work from a day-to-day work environment, from agile to like writing clean code. If you're doing testing, like you can't be, oh, I want to do manual testing. I want to do manual testing. There is no possible way that you're going to go into an interview saying, I only know manual testing, but they need you more than you need them. That's an impossible mindset to have. No matter how great you think you are, I'm like, the next person on their resume says, oh, I do automation in these three languages. I'm like, oh, all right, cool. I'm like, I need that person. I need that person, right? More than they need me, because it's all about your skill set. But you have to put in the work to learn what you need to learn. Stop trying to take shortcuts. Stop trying to cheat the system. And now, once you are building yourself up, now you take that mindset over. You know what? I'm going into this resume. I'm going into this interview, knowing that if they pass up on me, that is a bigger loss to them, because I know my work ethic. I know what I can do. I know what I have done. I know the perspective that I bring to the team. I know the confidence that I bring to the team. So that's how I see it, though. What do you think? What do you think? Because I know a lot of people, like they're working so hard to get to a particular spot, and then once they get to that spot, to like, okay, now we're putting you in the game. We're putting you in the game now, and now it's like they totally clam up, and they blow it. They blow it because they had the wrong mindset. They're like, oh my God, I really hope I get this job. I can't blow it. I can't blow it. I can't blow it. And because of that desperation, that desperate mindset, now you blow it. Now you blow it because you were desperate in your approach and you missed the opportunity to show them that, that says, oh yeah, I can do the job. Along with my skills, I have the confidence, I have the ability, I have the strength to do the job. And if you don't put me in that role, you're gonna lose out bigger than I'm gonna lose out, because guess what? I'm gonna be great wherever I go. But are you going to be able to get some of that greatness that I have to offer? That's how I see it. That's how I approach it. And that's why, like, I'm always so confident, like, oh, whatever's put in front of me, I'm going to figure it out. But I don't run. I don't run away from challenges. I don't cry about some daunting task in front of me. I'm always ready for the war, ready for the fight. And I might not know it right now, but I guarantee you, give me a couple of days, I'm gonna have something ready to go. But that's my idea. That's my mentality. Are you able to embrace that mentality of they need me more than I need them? Or do you prefer to stay in the desperation mindset of like, oh, this is my last hope, this is my last chance? Because now the person who comes in after you, who doesn't have that mentality, because that desperation, they can see it on you. But now the person who comes in after you, who's like, oh yeah, like, this doesn't mean much to me. Like, I have 3 or 4 interviews lined up, and I'm doing this and I'm doing that. It's no biggie, right? That confidence that like, oh wow, like you like, there's competition, and I'm able to do this, and this. I've done this, that, and the other. It just oozes off of you, and I'm like, you know what? Let's go into a bidding war. I want that person. And now the person with the desperate mindset, they're like, oh my God, I got ghosted. No, nobody cares about me, and it's because of your mindset. A lot of the things that happen is because of your mindset. You don't see yourself in a good light. You become very, very dependent on somebody doing something for you, instead of seeing it that, you know what, I am the boss. I run this. That if they don't have me on their team, then their team is the one that's gonna suck. Right? I'm here to add a different to boost the team, instead of to bring it down and like be to be taken away from the team. Like, you have to see yourself like, by me being on the team, I'm adding to the team. Right. So that's how I see it. Let me know what you think. Right. That's about it for today. I just wanted to share that mentality of, if you focus on you being the prize fighter, you being the star player, the MVP, then they will see you as that as well, with that confidence of, I can do anything. That's how I see it. I think I can figure anything out. I think I can do anything, right? But that's it for today. Let me know your thoughts. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Do you think there's a middle spot? So many people say, oh, you gotta be humble, you gotta be humble, you gotta be humble. I don't think you have to be humble when you're going after what you want. I just don't agree with that. You have to see yourself as the best, and you have to show them that you are the best, and that there is no other option but you. All right. But with that being said, we're going to get out of here. Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of Candid Conversations. On your way out, do me a big favor. Like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you know every time we go live and drop new content, as well as go to techcoachralph.dev if you need some help, some additional mindset, like how you can prepare for these interviews and how to search for these jobs and all of that good stuff. Techcoachralph.dev give you a mindset adjustment so that you can know that, hey, the job belongs to you. Give you the skills so that you can know that the job belongs to you. They need you more than you need them. That's the mindset we have to go with. All right. So that's techcoachralph.dev. You can sign up for one-on-one coaching. We can work together. We can and will run it up because guess what? There are no days off. We do not take any days off. 0 bags fumbled. All right. But with that being said, I'm going to get out of here. Thank you guys again so much for tuning in. This is Tech Coach Ralph. We are out.